Hello Namibia, and welcome to your daily lunchtime show where we get to catch up on current events and headlines that are in the news. My name is Priska Anyolo and you are watching NMH at 1. We start our program today with footage of an unidentified truck that was plundered by members of the public after it rolled yesterday about 120 kilometers south of Mariental. Police allegedly looked on as the looting continued. 2 people were injured and taken to the state hospital at Mariental. The cargo has not been identified, nor the company to whom the truck belongs. A member of the public shot this footage and the commentary is in Afrikaans.
Ons lorry het geval en ons lorry word geloot. Ons polisie staan en kyk want hulle vertel vir die mense ons versekering sal betaal, hulle hoef nie te worry nie. So ja, so kom hulle met bakkies om te laai. En ons kan net mooi niks daaraan doen nie.
The Namibian Society of Composers and Authors of Music, NASCAM, recently visited the far northeastern regions to inform its members on how they can benefit from government's COVID-19 relief. The first visit was to Katima Mulilo, and thereafter a similar visit took place in Rundu. In the video, one of Rundu's well-known artists, Chiquita, poses a number of questions to NASCAM CEO John Max. This footage was captured by Kenya Kamboy.
To be also given something, because our job is no more going forward. We are no more performing. We are no more getting money like any other industry. So to me, it's for NASCAM to stand for the artist, for the musician, and NASCAM must also do something so that they must reverse their decision, because we are not agreeing with that decision. By applying also, it's a problem, because when you apply, what criteria are they using? If it's a fund, a relief fund, do you need to use a criteria to see that whether this person is qualified to get that fund, or whether this person does not qualify? But what makes you to qualify then, if I ask that question again? What makes an artist to qualify to be known that, no, this one is a musician or this one is an artist in this regard? So it's the work. So who knows the work of the artist? It's not the Art Council, it's NASCAM. Therefore, I'm saying NASCAM should stand up now and fight on behalf of the artist on this regard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The point is very taken and very serious. Maybe just to share with you what we have done so far. When these things were being proposed, I have engaged with quite a number of artists at the office. We have selected about 10 artists which are going to be representing you to meet with the minister. We're supposed to meet with the minister during this week, during these days.
On the topic of COVID-19, we share with you quarantine numbers as it stood at the end of Sunday. A total of 1,675 individuals were still in quarantine. This week, Namibians should see quicker changes in these figures due to new protocol for quarantine, which only requires a stay of 7 days instead of 2 weeks. In Oronga region, 802 people were in quarantine by Sunday, while 243 persons were discharged last week. A large group of 199 people entered quarantine in Orongo on Wednesday, while 113 were discharged. Last week, 129 people entered quarantine in Commerce region. 107 people were discharged in and around the capital. All 173 people quarantined in Karas region by Sunday have already spent at least 10 days in quarantine. The smaller groups in Ohangwena and Omaheke have stayed at these facilities at least a week. In Oshodanjupa region, 68 individuals entered quarantine last week. In this next clip, Metal and Allied Namibian Workers Union, Kavango East and Kavango West Regional Coordinator Richard Matengu Musoa talks about the impact of COVID-19 on the construction industry, as well as the compliance of employers with regard to worker safety and remuneration packages. This footage was captured by Kenya Kamboy.
Yes, good morning. My name is Richard Matengu, the Regional Coordinator of Metal Allied Namibian Workers Union, Kavango West, Kavango East. During the 2 past years, we have seen compliance in terms of the Labour Act and the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, together with the government gazette in the construction industry. Compliance in paying minimum wage, health and safety is being also improved, which is very interesting. Secondly, however, we have some challenges regarding to COVID-19, more especially in stage 1 and stage 2. The regulations were so tight that more especially in the construction industry, which was totally stopped. And then due to COVID also, we had some challenges in our region regarding half salaries. There are 2 companies which have been paying half salaries. However, that has happened for two past months, and then we have rectified it. Now they are back to normal salary, and also Social Security have covered that. Even though there was a little delayment for the stimulus of Social Security to cover some other little salaries which were damaged for half payment. We have got a recognition agreement in certain companies, and we are negotiating very well. We recently signed the recognition agreement together with Advanced Track. That was a day before yesterday. We have got 14 recognition agreements in total. However, we are the bargaining unit in the construction industry, so we remain in principle with the government gazette, which is recognized by His Excellency, our President and Minister of Labor, as the Bible in the construction industry, which we are using together. However, we have also a few matters or disputes which we have referred to the Labor Commissioner, neither than before, 5 years back, whereby we could refer 5 cases in a month. But for now, you can see the compliance is better. We refer once in our sector, once in a month or twice, 2 disputes to the Labor Commissioner for dispute resolutions. So we are encouraging employers in our sector to keep on with the compliance in terms of health and safety, because we are focusing too much on health and safety, as the government is investing too much money in vocational training and so on to improve the standard of the youth. So therefore, when the youth they are done with the vocational level, they mustn't be thrown away. They must be taken care by their employers in terms of health and safety procedures, because we don't want those issues. Today the person is done, is graduated at the vocational, the person has fallen at a high height, or the person has been choked by electricity, and that person did not do anything in terms of development which the country has invested in that person at the vocational level. So therefore, we encourage too much on health and safety the employer to consider workers, because the government is investing much. Secondly is minimum wage. We are the custodian who offer the memorandum of agreement in terms of tendering system, whether regional council or where we are part of the memorandum of agreement from this office. It's clearly stating whether you are complying or not. So we will have strict measures to say, if you are in the system or you are coming and we find you in the field, you are not complying, whether it's construction or whatever. Therefore, we are not going to issue that document, which is part of the requirement of the tender board.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And we end our clips for today with footage of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Swakopmund, which was lit up red during the Swakop Unite by Light event that took place on Saturday. The event was hosted in an effort to revive the tourism industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. 7 historic buildings in Swakopmund were covered in red lights during the event, which was broadcasted live on Facebook. This footage was captured by Adolf Kaure. Moving on to our dailies. In the NMH stable, Namibian Sun reports sacked presidential health advisor Dr. Bernard Haufiku yesterday said his sudden dismissal was engineered by Health Minister Dr. Kalumi Changula. According to Haufiku, he received his dismissal letter early yesterday morning from the Vice President Nangolo Mbumba, who informed him that his contract as special advisor has been terminated with immediate effect. Republican reports that although the country's borders have now been opened to tourists under amended COVID-19 regulations, some in the tourism sector fear that foreigners won't be arriving to Namibia's shores before the middle of September. Allgemeine Zeitung reports that Lufthansa Airline and the German embassy in Namibia are working together to either repatriate German nationals in Namibia back to their home country or bring Germans to Namibia before the end of August. The Namibian reports that Prime Minister Saraku Kongelwa Amadila has cancelled the appointment of Anti-Corruption Commission Chief of Investigations, Fele Masule, a week after his promotion was announced. New Era reports that Ponofi Secondary School in Ohangwena has temporarily suspended classes for its grade 11 and 12 learners after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. And moving on to the inside pages of the country's dailies. The Namibian Sun reports that several women were raped recently, including a mentally challenged woman and a teenager. On Friday, a 20-year-old mentally challenged woman was raped at Ndoyona by a 30-year-old man. Republican reports that 26-year-old hairdresser Sune Gauss died in an accident on Sunday afternoon. She allegedly lost control of her vehicle on a sharp turn. The Namibian reports that a 45-year-old woman was stabbed with a broken bottle, allegedly by her 62-year-old mother on Thursday. According to the police, the woman was first hit with an empty bottle by her mother, who then took the broken bottle and stabbed her in the back of her neck. Allgemeine Zeitung reports that Walvis Bay and Swakopmund residents will be protesting every Wednesday and Saturday until the COVID-19 lockdown is lifted in the two Erongo towns. New Era reports that Namibia Press Agency CEO Linus Chata says the national news agency has never victimized, disciplined, or fired any reporter for writing investigative stories critical of the government or any public office bearer. And now for some positive news. The Namibian Sun reports a former Kenyan Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Amina Mohamed, could become Africa's first head of the World Trade Organization. Mohamed, who is 58 years old, is hailed as an accomplished international civil servant and diplomat who has served in various high-level international, regional, and national portfolios over the past 3 decades. And Republican reports that Namibia has been named the second best country in terms of wildlife conservation on the Megafauna Conservation Index. Neighboring Botswana was declared the winner out of 152 countries. And on that note, that is it for today. I've been your host, Priska Agnolo. Thank you so much to our lovely viewers for always tuning in. Please do stay safe and have a great week ahead. Stay tuned for the weather.